Good evening. Hi, my name's Jim Maley. I'm lucky enough to be the mayor of this great town. And I wanted to bring to you a little bit of a message to let you know about the latest word and all the news right now about the Moody's rating and the borough's bond status. First, let me apologize for my voice. It's been a rough couple days. We spent a lot of time working the phones and trying to get a handle on exactly where we are and what we can do to fix this quickly. I want to first emphasize to you that this is very serious. We take it very seriously. We are working to go to Moody's to make a presentation to tell them exactly where we believe they are inaccurate and they have improper information. And that is in the process. I'm meeting, right now it's Wednesday the 14th, just before our town meeting. I have a meeting in the morning with bond counsel, our financial advisor, a bunch of folks that have good relationships with Moody's, and we're going to go over exactly what we need to do. I want to talk to you a little bit because this came from out of the blue. Moody's does reviews periodically of every town, everybody that issues bonds. And we've been going through that review, answering questions and going back and forth with them. We had no inclination that anything like this was going to happen. We did expect to get a downgrade because the federal government's gotten a downgrade, the state has gotten a downgrade, they're downgrading everybody, because these ratings agencies have gotten a lot more scrutiny over them. So we expected a downgrade, but never anything like this. This is so big is why it's making all the news, and it's not appropriate. And I've also learned a lot more about what goes into this, and it really seems a lot of this is data is collected, fed into a computer model, and then the computer model basically comes up with a score, and based on that score, that's how you get rated. And I want to touch on a few things just to give you an idea as to why this is inaccurate. Some of the data. One of the things that this report points to very strongly is that our surplus in 2007 was 52% or 47% of our total budget, which is huge. I mean, if it's a $16 million budget today, that would be like having $7 or $8 million sitting in the bank. Frankly, that's unconscionable. We should never have that much surplus sitting aside. We should cut the budget and give it back to you. But what that money was, and let me back up, we've reduced that surplus. It has gone down from the 42, 45% down to 7 where it was in 2010. Moody's, when they review that, what that means to any observer is this is a company in trouble. This is a borough that is eating up its reserves to run things. Nothing could be further than the truth. What is happening here is that that was money we received from the Parkview. The Parkview profit boosted up our surplus. And over the next 4 years, we distributed 2/3 of it out to property owners as the Pride Grant. So that decline in the surplus was planned, a distribution of the money. It's not a bad thing, and Moody cites it as a bad thing. Another thing they point to, which for those of you that have been around town for a little while, we had about 10 years or so ago, the state put us on a distressed cities list. And actually, we moved way up on the list. And it made big news again. There was big news, Collingswood on this distressed cities list. Well, you know, we looked at it, what is this list? We did our homework and we fought this. And that was the last year they ever did a list. And what happened, one of the things that happened there is one of the things that's happened in Moody's. They've cited our inability to pay our bills by our declining population. Going from 1990 to today, our population has declined. Well, one of the big things that we've done, one of our big initiatives over the last 12 years or so, has been our duplex conversion program. And we have taken 200 units, 200 buildings that had duplexes and quadplexes in them, and gotten rid of them and converted them to single-family homes, and that reduces your population. We've had an ongoing government program to help do that. So it is not, it's not negatives, it is positive things. But to a computer model, to people that don't know those facts, it can certainly look that way. The biggest thing that they've pointed to is this short-term pressure that they say that we're under. Our extension of the construction loan for the lumberyard was extended to October the 7th. And they said, it's October 7th, it's coming up, you don't have any money to pay this debt down, a little more than $4 million. Therefore, there's a risk you're going to be at default. Well, what they leave out is we've been in discussion with the banks. The banks have all agreed to extend the time for us. It hasn't been put into writing because we're still negotiating, potentially reducing the interest rate on the remaining balance, changing terms, having some more money advanced to complete some more work, a lot of different issues. So once we found out about this, once we got this Monday evening from Moody's, we immediately had the work done. And today, as I'm here, I just got the final executed agreement extending this for 60 days. So the biggest reason that Moody's has, we've taken care of. It's done. It's finished. So we're going to use that, and we're going to go to Moody's to try to get this resolved as quickly as possible. Now, let me just talk to you on the big picture of this, because there's going to be a lot of critics and a lot of folks that never like the project we're doing, pointing to this and saying like it's a bad thing. I just want to tell you that over the time where we have really been way out in front in terms of doing investment in properties and converting them for the good of our town, what lies at the bottom of it all, and then we started with the Parkview in 1996, where at all our public meetings, excuse me, we did an analysis and talked to people about what it costs to do this investment and what it costs to do nothing. And it costs something to do nothing. And in all of those evaluations, in every one of these projects, we have looked at what's the investment that's required to do nothing or to do something, and where do we have the better chance of making our community better. We've done that at every step. Parkview worked, that all worked. We made a great financial profit on that. Turned that around. You know, back in 1996 to the early 2000s, a lot of people were leaving town because of that building. Ended that. Zane School took that building, converted that building, put 100 people onto Haddon Avenue, covering our debt from the rents that are coming in from there. Where Bobby Shays was a gas station that we took. We invested in that. We did a lease purchase with Bobby. It's now a great place. The gas station up Haddon Avenue that was Curves and then a restaurant and it's soon to be a new barbecue restaurant, same thing. Took that, invested in it, converted it. So the lumberyard was a big venture. There's no doubt about it. Those first 50 units sold in 6 months. We happened to hit the worst housing recession in the history of the world. It has definitely had an effect. We have changed the project. We have removed the last building. We've reduced this from 119 residential units to 99. As we've sent out in all the town criers, we are looking to take these last number of units to lease them, to generate revenue, to help us cover the additional funds we'll pay on this construction loan to pay it down, so that it does not have an impact on the taxpayers. We are very confident that's going to work. Today, again, is the 14th. We've announced this 10 days ago. Today, the first lease with an option to purchase was signed, and we're expecting tonight to sign a lease purchase agreement tonight for one of the units. That's 2. We only need to do 6 units in order to cover what our debt service will be. So we're in good shape. This project is not in jeopardy. It is difficult. It's not in jeopardy of defaulting the borough. So it's very important that I impress upon you that we are not in any threat of default. Frankly, the biggest threat we have of default is because Moody's put this rating on us and has made it very difficult for us to be able to sell bonds. We're working through that right now to try to lift it as quickly as possible. Before Monday at 4 o'clock, we had no problem whatsoever with getting to the market and to selling this. So I want you to be assured of that. And the last thing is simply a budgetary issue. To tell you that what goes on in the lumberyard has no impact whatsoever on how we operate our budget. Over the last couple of years, we've had to do some layoffs. We've had to do some not nice things. Last year, we avoided all that. But that is totally unrelated. There are 2 different budgets. That budget is controlled by the 2% cap, and the 2% cap is the trouble with that. Has nothing to do with whatever we're doing in terms of investing anywhere in town. So I'm happy to talk to anybody. You can email me direct off our website. We have blog entries up on the website that I'm trying to update people on what's going on. Feel free to contact us. We'll give you whatever information we have. We are hopeful to get this resolved as quickly as possible. And I thank you for your support in this. This has not been the easiest, but we will get through this. We have been through much worse things that affected people. Here at Scottish Rite, I remember being here about the Jackson family, about Aunt Sue's murder a number of years ago. Much more horrible things as a borough. This is all about money. It's very important. We will resolve it, and we will get through this. So thank you so much. Again, any questions, make sure you contact us. Thank you.